Morning guys, it's a nice early morning. It's around 8 o'clock I guess. We're just out going to check the maple syrup buckets and maybe show you how to tap some trees and make your own maple syrup. So we've got the dog. Me and the kids tapped the trees yesterday. It was cold, it was about minus 10, 12, so not too much sap was flowing. Of course, you need nice cold freezing nights and warm days. Today, last night was minus 5, today's supposed to be plus 5, so that should get the sap going. So it's already about 2 degrees, starting to look pretty nice out here. So we're going to go for a walk with the dog and we'll take you along and show you what we got going on. So I've got about 20 taps all together. I have 5 around the house with buckets that hang on the spile or the tap, and then I've got 15 in the bush on more select trees that have either the bucket in the tap system or they have a tap with a piece of hose going down into a bucket. They both have pros and cons, and I'll show you as we go, and I'll give you some tips on what I've learned as this is my first year. Some things I've picked up on and learned, and some pros and cons to different types of systems. So let's have a little look at one of the taps and buckets. So here you can see we got one of these buckets. This one's a 3-gallon bucket. The tap is a 7/16 tap or spile. It's got a hook so you can hang your bucket. You can see that we have had some sap running yesterday. A bit when the sun came out a bit, it would warm up, so the trees that were south facing that we got good sun exposure probably leaked a little bit, so that's good. You can see down in the bucket we've got a little bit down there, some dirt in there. I'm not too worried about the dirt. You could easily build a cover out of a plastic bag and a piece of rope or a rubber band, just to keep some of the crap out, and just cut a hole right around the spout where it's dripping in. But I'll filter it, and you boil it for a few hours, so really there's no big deal. So let's just up ahead here I have a bucket system on the ground with hose, so let's go look. So here you can see that I've got 3 decent sized trees together. I really could run 3 taps, but I don't want to abuse the trees too much. So what I've got here is I've got a tap with a hose, same as here, a tap with a hose, and they both run down into a 5-gallon bucket, and I just drilled some holes in the lid and it drips down into the bucket. So this is a nice system if you've got, you know, a system where or a situation where you've got some trees together. You know, even if I had another tree over here, I could easily run a line down to it. Lines aren't too expensive. I just got this stuff at the Home Hardware, and I think it was 20 cents a foot or so, so not a big deal really. We'll boil them in some hot water and dish soap and clean them up when we're all done. So that's another system. This is a little more practical, and price wise is probably cheaper than the fancy buckets and the spiles that it hangs on. So here we got one that's still dripping. Looks like it's probably dripping most of the night. It's about the average size maple that I have. It's probably 16-18 inches across. We don't have big maples if you look around. All this small stuff, that's a decent maple right there. And then we got lots of these small guys. That's kind of probably close to the average, 8-10 inches. There are some bigger ones out and about. I think what I'm going to do this year is that a maple back there? Yeah, that's a maple right back there. Right about there, I think. Between the 3, so I might, during some time off, come in and clear out some of these not so nice maples and give the bigger maples some room to grow. There's some birch that are right here, it's dead. Maybe we'll cut back these spruce and balsams. Same as with this big guy here, I'll drop a couple of these smaller ones. Allow these guys to pick up more nutrients with their roots. But that's what we're dealing with here, so the sap production's pretty low compared to people with beautiful sugar bush. Okay, go hang it back up on the tree. We'll get the other bucket, another bucket here. We'll get it, we'll bring it back. Smells pretty good, eh?
Yeah. These are some big snowflakes.
Yeah.
But we can't give up.
Well, that's the last one for out here.
Now we're going home.
Yeah.